Good afternoon. Many Face Publishing. We in the building, man. Oh, man. I got me some well-needed rest this morning, man. I ain't really been getting no Z's. You know, I did a few videos I haven't posted yet. You know, I'll probably post them today or tomorrow, you know, dealing with different topics. Today's topic at hand I want to deal with is sports. You know, we gonna talk sports. You're gonna have to excuse my audio. You're not gonna see my ugly face on this joint. But so much because I gotta fix my daughter's bike. And right now I'm trying to brew up some coffee. You know, but yeah, man. There's two things I want to talk about. Man. I seen the post this morning, right? And somebody posted something for Larry Bird or Kevin Durant. Now, my argument is this, right? How can you mention, and it's not a disrespect to Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, I want to say this, man. I got to do my Stephen A. Build him up before you tear him down. But I ain't trying to tear the man down. And this is the problem. Why dudes get tore down? Because these guys keep coming with these silly-ass comparisons, man. You cannot compare Bird to him. You got to be out of your fucking mind, right? One, the mentalities of these guys are different, right? The leadership of these guys are different. The clutch genes in these guys are different. Bird also, to me, was even though Kevin Durant is a great shooter, he's an efficient shooter, right? He's an efficient scorer, which means, he can shoot. He shoots at a high, efficiency level, right? Takes, a lot of high percentage shots, his jump shot, he can rise over the top, even get a clear view at the rim. He's 6'11" with a 7'6" wingspan. So, yeah, he can elevate and he can shoot over people, which is great. And he's a great shooter. We're not taking that away from him, man. He can get to the rim. He can do some things, Kevin Durant. Larry Bird, you didn't forget, Larry Bird can pass. And the highlights be showing his passing ability. I was watching one joint where it was showing him passing the ball. Kevin Durant can't pass like Larry Bird. He doesn't rebound like Larry Bird. And Larry Bird played a little defense. So it wasn't like he was just out there just scoring. Remember the steal, the pass to Dennis Johnson with the layup. We forget about that? Do we forget about these things? I'm saying like his highlights, first of all, that highlights first of all, with the eye test, even with this Jordan shit, man, and LeBron and Kobe, like, I was, having a discussion, my man thinks, some people have Kobe and LeBron, now, first of all, they was trying to disrespect Kobe by saying LeBron was just better, and then, a lot of players and, people on social media had to calm that shit down, like, hold on, whoa, now, you must be out of your mind, man. Players look up to Kobe. One thing, players look up to Kobe. Nobody looks up to LeBron, really. But these niggas that, they just want to be on the end team. But them niggas that's not trying to be on the end team, nobody looks up to LeBron. Nobody's like, I want to mirror my game like LeBron. You don't see dudes doing that. I don't see anybody saying, yo, I want to go and play like LeBron James played. People want to have Kobe Mamba mentality. It's levels to this, man. That's why I was trying to tell my man, like, he a Duncan fan. And I get it. Kobe spanked Duncan with and without Shaq, right? The knock on Kobe, and I did the video, I haven't posted it. I'm going to post all these videos, man. The knock on Kobe, with some of these people, he played with Shaq. Shaq had his best years playing with Kobe. Shaq had a mob. They had a mob in LA, right? But what elevated Kobe's greatness is when he won those two without Shaq. Those are two of the most valuable championships because people said he couldn't do it without him. And he went and he did almost the same thing without Shaq that he did with Shaq. And three-peated, right? So, you know what I mean? Like, but we're going to hold him accountable because Shaq got the finals MVPs. We look at them. Now the argument got to, well, he only has one MVP. First he wasn't efficient, but everybody started cooking that argument. Now it's but he doesn't only has one MVP. So now let's cook that. Cause I cooked that in one of my last videos that I haven't posted. I'm gonna post it, but I'm gonna cook it again. The man came in the league 17 years old, drafted behind Eddie Jones, an all-star, who was starting to peak at that time, right? You playing with Prime Shaq, and you playing with Nick Van Ness, another all-star guard. Where's the playing time for a 17-year-old kid? You know what I'm saying? It ain't like he came to his own team like LeBron did or like Carmelo did, and he got to just get out there and get the minutes. He didn't get the minutes. Then once they seen him play, he gets to the All-Star game. I think it was the next year or whatever. You in the All-Star game. Then they trade all them dudes and build a team around you and Shaq, and y'all had a mom. And then there was some years that he led them in scoring. But Shaq is the darling, right? Shaq is the darling. Shaq is the people, looked at Kobe as he's next as far as, messing with, I'm saying, like, he might be the next closest thing to Mike, and they were right. But the media didn't like Kobe. Let's just keep it 100, man. They didn't like him, man. Kobe didn't kiss up to them. He didn't, bow down to the media, right? Then you had the rape allegations. Then you had him and Shaq having little issues and stuff in the locker room. They feel like, oh, Kobe's a selfish guy. He wants to be like Mike. We're gonna he's ruining the chemistry with his selfish play and stuff like that. And Shaq is the savior and all this stuff. And then Shaq started aging. Told niggas they'll trade Shaq for they trade Kobe. Kobe's younger. He's gonna give him more. Shaq, they already got what they needed from Shaq, man. What happens? Shaq leaves, ends up getting traded to Miami. Kobe struggles. Same struggles Mike was going through, getting bounced in the first round, going up against teams that were, had way more talent and skilled players. And then he got that one piece, Pau Gasol. And look what happened. Gets to the finals, loses in 6, comes back 2 more years, wins 2 championships, beats a super team with virtually one other all-star and, aging players. And, you got it done, man. Those 2 championships mattered. Kobe tore up the league for a good 12 years before that injury. And he was carrying that team that year. And then he got injured, and then he was never the same. Right? But you look at the eye test, man, it's like, come on, man, how can you watch the games, right? What killed me, man, is that these niggas that play ball, they don't know what the fuck they be talking about, man. Just because you play basketball don't mean that you can analyze the game. Some cats, like, we watch the games, like, we just, like, what goes on in practice and the ins and outs and things behind closed doors, we don't know about that. That's y'all privy to that info because you guys play ball. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know what run sets y'all playing in offense or who's this and who, you know what I'm saying? All we can go by is what we see, what's being reported and things like that. So according to that, I can analyze the game. I got 2 eyes. I can read. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can analyze the game. Now me, I'm not gonna sit here and say I play ball like that. I know how to play. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talented like other dudes. I can't go do all this fancy dribbling, and I'm not a marksman shooter. I can shoot a little bit, and I can get to the basket. I can, you know what I'm saying? I can score a little bit. I you know what I'm saying? I'm not a nice ball player like that. Dudes pick me because I hustle. I'm more of a role player. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I know how to play ball. I know how to set a pick. I know how to run off a screen. I know how to pass the ball, get dudes the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know how to play ball. I understand. Am I a ball player? No. I'm gonna sit here like I'm dumb nice and but some of these niggas can play, but they can't break down the game, man. You listen to their takes on the game, like, what the fuck are you talking about, my nigga? What is you talking about, B? You know what I mean? So, not to get off topic, man. Kobe, the doc on Kobe is, then there was some years that he didn't get the MVP, without Shaq because of, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? You had Steve Nash. They had better teams, and he was barely making the first round. Look at the players he had, man. Look at the players he was winning. First of all, that team he was winning with, that second go around, was nowhere better than that team that him and Shaq had, man. Rick Fox, Brian Shaw, Horry, Horace Grant. They had J.R. Ryder on the back of the bench. You had Glenn Rice at one time. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the guys he had, the supporting cast, compared to this. Jordan Farmar, Sasha Vujacic, Banga, what's one with Trevor Ariza, Ron Artest, who was pretty good. Andrew Bynum. Trying to think, he had a couple more other guys out there, man. Luke Walton. Like, yo, these guys, come on. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody because they play ball. Them guys was not as talented as that other team, man. Gotta stop it, man. Nowhere near. So Kobe, you know what I'm saying, that LeBron would have had them that team, LeBron would have traded all them niggas, man. Gotta stop. But, you know, my thing is, how do we just skip past Larry Bird? I want to get back to that. You know what I'm saying? I had to get to the Kobe part. You know, dudes, oh, he only has one MVP. And, you know, I wanted to get to that part because it was like, you know, now it's the MVPs, man. He's not going to get you the MVP. The only way you're going to get an MVP is if you do something astronomical like Westbrook did when he had averaged a triple-double, something that hasn't been done in like 30 years, 40 years. That right there got him the MVP. But his team was trash. And his team, I think they was like, what, a 7th seed or something like that? It wasn't a very high seed. You know, so when Kobe was having, you know what I'm saying, was having to rebuild his team around Shaq, same thing Mike had to go through. So now, you know, we're going to get back to Bird, but we're going to get to this Jordan shit, discussion I just had this morning. I sent a thing to my cousin, so I was messing with him. I said, yo, it was a Scottie Pippen thing. I said, look, Mike handcrafted this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mike made him into what he was, man. Right? Man said, well, why didn't he do that before? What do you mean why he didn't do it before? He was only in the league 3 years before Pippen got there. Like, he was in the league with 84. Remember, one year he broke his leg. So I think one game he only played like, what, 7? One year he played like, what, 7 games or some shit? Broke his leg. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he had to go through his growing pains. Like, no one comes in just winning. This is the only reason I got Magic and Bird. That's the main reason why they can't leave my Mount Rushmore to me, because they came in the league and they were the ranks. No other 2 players ever done that to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had to get through them to be champion. It's from day one. Both of them niggas, man. So they, to me, is always going to be on my Mount Rushmore, man. I don't understand the Bird disrespect, and that's what I'm going to get to in a second. But what I'm trying to say is, right, Mike was in the league that long for him to be. It ain't like he'd been in the league 6, 7 years and he couldn't figure it out. Even though he was in the league for a minute before they won their championship. Pippen was a role player. Pippen was a 80-something pick or something like that. He wasn't like he was a lottery pick. People act like Pippen was some lottery pick all-star that Mike picked up and started winning. That's not true, man. Pippen would have been a role player anywhere else, man. He wouldn't have been what he was without Jordan. Pippen knows that, man. Even in that Save the Last Dance and before that, when you watch those documentaries, man, they said Jordan had to take him after the Pistons were spanking them niggas and make him man up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, same thing that Kobe had to do with Gasol, man. You got to put your big boy pants on, my nigga. What you doing? So, this is what Jordan had to do with Pippen, man. That's why I say he handcrafted him, because after that, Pippen started playing like a man. Like he was playing a lot better, man. Like, and then they, you know what I'm saying, they were able to finally beat them, man. So that's what I mean by handcrafted. And you know what I'm saying? Like, Pippen, he learned a lot playing with Jordan, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we we not gonna sit here and act like, you know what I'm saying, like knowing anybody else. No one else made a player like that. That was a low draft pick. You know what I'm saying, damn near Mr. Irrelevant in the draft, right? And turned them into a top 50 player, man. That's what Mike did. That's greatness, man. He gonna say, oh, well, why he didn't do that with Randall Woolrich, you know? He was still learning. Mike was still learning. You know what I'm saying? Like, same thing why Kobe couldn't do it with Caron Butler, man. Like, he was, you know what I'm saying? Kobe got his team. Kobe, the reason, you know, and this is the knock with Kobe, right? Because Kobe didn't get his own team till he was about 7 years in the league, right? And then they traded away, and dudes retired, you know, so he didn't have the help out there. He had to work with virtual nothing to win his championships, man. And we penalizing this man for that, man. You know what I'm saying? For getting the bum team to the playoffs every year, except for that first year, right? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like, this is what we penalizing him for. And just because you're not MVP don't mean you're not the best player in the league. Jordan wasn't MVP every year, and he's still considered the GOAT, man. How many MVPs Mike got out of 15 years? I think 5. So he wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, just because you're not getting the MVP every year, that don't make you not the best player in the league. So it's gonna get given to the teams that have the guy that team has the most success, that they feel like is without him there, they wouldn't have the success that they're having. That's kind of what it really is. It usually goes to the guy with the team that has the best record or one of the best records in the league. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for you to get an MVP and your team is in the A seed, that means you're expected to go nowhere, and you know you had to really do some astronomical shit to get your team there. Something Kobe was doing, but he didn't get the recognition. You know what I'm saying? 9 out of 10 not gonna get the recognition for that, man. Like, and then, you know what I'm saying? So he had to go through the growing pains and learn. But we're knocking these guys for that. We're knocking these. What about LeBron? You guys call LeBron the GOAT. LeBron went through how many years of getting bounced in the playoffs, man? He had to go form a super team to beat the teams Kobe was spanking. How many times, man? I'm saying, like, he was getting spanked, man. LeBron didn't make the playoffs his first 2 years, right? We still call him the GOAT. They have to grow, man. These guys got to grow. They got to learn. But nah, we got to penalize them for that, man. We expect them to just do it all the time. Like, nah, these niggas is human beings. They got to learn. The only 2 people that and then, you know, people want to throw this Kareem Abdul-Jabbar shit. Kareem went through the 70s. I think how many championships he had? One, right? He had 1 championship before Magic got there. He's another one getting bounced out the first round every year. And then when Magic got there, they instantly started winning. Instantly, man. And Magic got to the finals without him. And when he got hurt, Magic took over the game, dominated, and they won. Larry Bird took his team from, 20-something wins to 50 wins his first year. Next year wins a championship. These you had to go through them immediately. These was plug-and-play players. You don't see that no more. You didn't have to wait around to develop, man. This is why they'll never leave my Mount Rushmore. Now, the Larry Bird thing, right? He gets his knock because he got his 3 championships. He won MVP 3 years in a row. He got the 5 finals in the 80s. You got to remember, look what he had to go through, man. You had to go through Dr. J and them. Then you had to go through Pistons and them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had to go through the Lakers, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, so those are 3 of the greatest teams to ever, you know, be assembled. You had the Pistons. Excuse me, man. I'm sorry, guys. You had the Pistons. You had the Lakers. And you had the 76ers, man. Remember the 76ers with Darryl Dawkins? They had one of the best years ever when they won their championship in the 80s. And they were always a contender, throughout that early 80s, man. to the mid 80s, right? Then he had to also deal with niggas like Dominique. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had to deal with some niggas, man. Like, he played Jordan, but they spanked Jordan and them, man. And he had a Hall of Fame team. They drafted Kevin McHale. The rest of those guys was mainly mercenaries, man. Older players, you know what I'm saying? Like, players that weren't, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's difference from all-stars and superstars. Even though those guys are Hall of Fame players, they're Hall of Famers because of Larry. You took Larry off that team is going nowhere, man. Those guys may not make the Hall of Fame, man. They're making the Hall of Fame on the strength, of course, of their play, but being mainly on the strength of playing with a great player like Larry Bird. You know what I'm saying? James Worthy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was a great player. You know what I'm saying? He got his team in the playoffs when Magic and them left, but he's a top 50 player mainly because of Magic and Kareem. But he never had his own team to really show, like, what he could do. But he did at the end, and then, you know, he ended up retiring. But James Worthy, you know, got his team in the playoffs that one time, and he had a lead up on Houston, but they got spanked 3 games in a row, and that was it. I mean, not Houston, Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? Then they got spanked 3 games in a row after that, and then I think a year later, something like that, or 2 years later, he ended up retiring. You know what I'm saying? Like, but James Worthy, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's in the Hall of Fame because of those brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? Playing with those brothers. Sometimes the guys you play with, like Paul Gasol, he's probably going to be a Hall of Famer if he's not already. I'm not sure if he got inducted or whatever yet, but he's going to be a Hall of Famer because he played with Kobe, man. Because they won those championships. Individually, if he would have just stayed with Memphis, he may not be a Hall of Famer, man. You know? But that's what greatness does. They elevate guys, man. Pippen, I don't think he's in a top 50 greatest player of all time or make it to the Hall of Fame without Michael Jordan. Mike would have made it regardless because Mike was already the face of the league. He was becoming the face of the league, man. He came in, stormed in, and took that from the brothers, man. And when we look at Larry Bird was an all-around great player, man. He would shoot from anywhere. He won the 3-point contest. He's probably one of the greatest shooters in the history of the game, man. Besides dudes like Mark Price, Curry, Reggie Miller, Ray Allen. You know, you got a lot of great shooters in the league, man. You know, shoot the lights out the ball, man. Glenn Rice. Who else, man? Glenn Robinson could shoot. He was like a Kevin Durant, like a lesser version of Kevin Durant back in the days, like very efficient scorer. But yeah, man. So we penalizing these guys, man. He didn't make a Mike before, Pippen before that. He was only in the league 3 years, man. He was learning. He was getting spanked. A Bird had a mob. You know, players would have been trash without Larry Bird, man. That team would have been garbage, man. They would have probably been, if they made the playoffs, an 8th seed at best, man. Took Bird off that team, man. What else is the knock? Kobe, his knock. He wasn't efficient. Then after we banged that shit down. He had Shaq. He knocked that down. Because it was a couple of years, you know, in the playoffs, he was averaging more than Shaq, but he was getting busy out there. And then they say, well, he only has 1 MVP. That MVP shit is politics, man. We know that you know what I'm saying, they really didn't want him to be the face of the league. But it is what it is. He earned that. He took that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he won them 2 championships, they couldn't deny that. The players love him. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you got to look at the eye test, man. When you sit back and you look at the highlights, right? And you can even watch the old games. They show the old games on NBA TV. Classic hardwood classics, right? Can't you see that, looking at the game, that there's things that LeBron cannot do that Mike and Kobe can do, or Bird can do, or like he can't pass like Magic. Nigga, for what you tell me? Magic can ball rebound. He can't rebound like Magic. He can't go in a post like Magic. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Kobe, when we look at Kobe, his athleticism, his dunks, man. Like, well, highlight reels, posters. You know what a post is? Like, a lot of people, you know, look at LeBron. He coming through. LeBron gets dunks. Dudes get out the way because he's a freight train. His size and athleticism, you know, he takes off. You know, you want to get out the way. You know, or usually he's jumping over people. You know what I'm saying? Like, dudes are trying to get out the way. You know, the lane is clear, or it's a breakaway dunk or something like that. Kobe got posters, man. Posters is when niggas is trying to jump with you to stop you from dunking, and you yamming on them, man. How many posters Kobe got, man? Mike got. LeBron don't really got those. He might have one or two, couple of them. Show me the highlights, but he's postering niggas. I'm talking about niggas jumping with him and trying to block, and he yamming it on them at the rim like Kobe did Yao Ming, David Robinson, Duncan, and all them other dudes, man. Dwight Howard, like, yamming it on these niggas, man. And Jordan did Ewing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Jordan did Mutombo. Those are posters, man. Like, Dominique used to do posterizing niggas, man. Don't jump with me. Those are posters, man. Just looking at the game, like, Mike moves to the rim, like his dribbling, getting to the spots. You don't see that in LeBron's game. I made the argument before. I said if you had to teach the game and I had to learn from either LeBron or Kobe, I would rather go to Kobe school and learn the game than LeBron school because Kobe has more in his arsenal. You know what I'm saying? And it's like LeBron James is a great player. And this should be getting twisted. I'm not saying he can't play. He ain't great. He doesn't have the ability. He's not as talented and skilled as those other guys were. And he doesn't have here something that they had. You know what I'm saying? Here, LeBron has it. Here, he doesn't really have it. You know what I'm saying? Like those guys were built different, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just look at the eye test. Just look at the game, man. Mike can get to his spots. He can dribble. He can get to the rim off the dribble. He's yamming it on niggas. He can shoot fadeaways. He can shoot jumpers. I'm not saying LeBron can't shoot jumpers and stuff. He don't got that in his arsenal like that. We got Mike going in the post, turnaround jumper, head fake, up and unders to the rim, shit like that. LeBron don't really got that in his game. I was arguing with niggas about this years ago in the gym. Like, yo, this nigga ain't got no moves, man. Been saying that's. I'm glad I started making these videos. I've been saying this shit for decades, man. Almost 2 decades, this thing ain't got no moves, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't got no post game, none of that. Like, he's just bully ball. He took his size and athleticism away. He gonna be an average ball player, man. Now, his size and athleticism hasn't gone away, so he still has the ability to dominate, you know, as far as, you know, in spots of the game, but it doesn't translate to winning. It hasn't been translating into winning games like it once did. You know, LeBron is a great player, and you got to use your strengths to your advantage, and he does a great job of that. But let's keep it 100. The eye test should tell you he's not better than the niggas, man. Anybody with sense, man, whether you play ball or not, you watch the highlights of him, Kobe, and him and Mike, you see that it's not even close, man. The games is not even close. Oh, Kobe, he's a shot checker. This is another point I wanted to make. Kobe, you know, he never had a point guard, man. A true point guard that could set up the offense and give him the ball in spots, but he could score easy baskets, right? He never played with Chris Paul. He played with Steve Nash when Steve Nash was damn near 40, coming off injuries. And he had to carry them niggas, man, right? Kobe, he never had that point guard to set him up, right? Kobe, he didn't have great shooters around him, particularly when they traded all his players away, like Shaq left and all them other dudes left. Excuse me. He didn't have he didn't have anybody that could create their own shot really out there. So often what happens is, if you watch the goddamn games, right? Kobe would get the ball with 5 or less on the shot clock after they would move the ball around. He would try to get guys involved, and they can't score, or they can't get, to a spot to get a shot off, or they're not cutting or something. Now he gets the ball with 5 seconds on the shot clock, and he's forced to take bad shots. A lot of times that happened to Kobe, which will mess up your efficiency rating. Because when you're playing with guys who can't really create, you're going to end up, having to, take bad shots, man. That happens. Like the thing with LeBron is, most of his shots are at the rim. Because he's size and athleticism allows him to get to the rim at will. With Kobe, he has to work a little bit harder to get to the rim. He doesn't have the size. He has the athleticism, but that's why his game's more polished, because now he can go and block. So when they double him on the block, he can kick it out to an open shooter, or he can kick it out and then get it back and then make his move to the basket, or hit a turnaround jumper, so he was always never blessed with having that point guard out there that could just get the ball to him to get easy baskets. He never really had that. And he just never had that, man. So you're penalizing him for not having a point guard, and a point guard that can get him the ball in the spots where he can score, make the offense easier for him. So a lot of times he had to take bad shots, and he's their primary scorer. He's not a point guard. He's a shooter. He's a shooting guard. So but the eye test, right? At the end of the day, if you watch the games and you just look at the what they have in their bags, right, and look at how they played the game and how they couldn't be stopped from scoring, you can see that there's levels to this, man. He's not on their level, man. Go look at Bird's game. Go look at Magic's game. Go look at Jordan's game. Go look at Kobe's game. And you tell me, how is this man better? What does he do that's better? He has a stats. Yes, he's a stat machine, and he's a yes, he gonna get you some stats, but doesn't always translate in winning. Kevin Durant. When you look at Kevin Durant, right? Only thing that stops Kevin Durant from being in this conversation is, just the mentality. Like the instinct, the killer instinct is not all the way in him as it is in them other dudes. Them 4 dudes I mentioned got superior killer instinct. Where Kevin Durant, he needs more like guidance out there. He needs the killer out there with him. Those are the killers. But Kevin Durant is the kind of guy that he's going to thrive in any offense you put him in, because he's not a high demand type player. Those guys are killers. Cold-blooded killers on that court. Kevin Durant is not a cold-blooded killer on that court. That's the only thing. But as far as his game, he has the game to be on their level. But that killer instinct in him is just not there just yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it may not never be there. He's already almost at the end of his career. It's just, to me, I'm not trying to disrespect him and say that he is a great player. So is LeBron. Same thing with LeBron. LeBron, he just doesn't have the game to compare to them. He's effective and efficient because of how he plays, right? It's the same thing as I said earlier. I'm not a great talented ball player. I just know how to play. I know how to win. LeBron knows how to play. But he's not as skilled and polished as those brothers is when you look at the games. And he doesn't have this. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has it, and it shows up here and there, but it's not consistent. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had it, you know what I'm saying? That's something that you're born with. You know what I'm saying? That's not something that, you know what I'm saying, people, you can instill it in people and beat it into people over time, but most of that is in you already. But LeBron, I think it's in him to be great, and we're gonna miss him when he leaves. you know what I'm saying? Like, LeBron is a face of the league. We're gonna miss him when he leave, but we cannot sit here with a straight face and put him as the GOAT or put him on levels with Kobe and Magic and these guys, man. And Bird and these guys and Mike. Definitely not Mike. Now, if you want to make an argument for Magic, I don't know how you do it, but you could look at, all you're going to do is look at numbers. LeBron he averaged almost 30, and he can score. And you know LeBron can score. He's an unstoppable player. It's like Shaq was unstoppable. You give Shaq the ball, you can't stop Shaq. He knew how to play to his strengths. But niggas act like Shaq just dribbled, got the ball, and just dunked the ball in the post. Nah, Shaq had a game. Got a post game. He had moves and shit. It's just that he got double teamed a lot, hacked, fouled, and he was bigger than everybody, so he used his strength to his advantage with something that LeBron does. Now, LeBron can shoot a little bit. He's gotten better with his shot. You know, he's gotten a little bit better in the post. That's going to happen, and it should happen over time. But he's not as polished as those brothers, man. So you look at the eye test, it tells you, like, man. And then I could see if they were just guys putting up stats and they didn't have any championships to back it up. These dudes won it all, which means that you were the best of the league. Your team was the best team. And if you were leading that team, you were the best on that team and or whatever, and your team won, that means that your team was the best. You were the best that year. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there's occasions where, you know, guys that had the best players in the world, and they won, like the Detroit Pistons in 04, you know, the Detroit Pistons and you know, those Detroit teams, yeah, they didn't have the best players in the league, and they still was winning championships because that was a team effort, total team effort. When you look at those guys that, you know, some of the best players, you look at a Tracy McGrady, put up numbers, wasn't winning. Kobe and them is not on that type of level. Tracy McGrady was nice, but he couldn't translate it in the playoffs. These brothers, and I'm talking about, translated this in the playoffs, and they were cold-blooded killers, man, in the playoffs. That's what puts them the level. This is where the levels come in at. So not only were they the best players in the league, they were winning championships to prove it. You know what I'm saying? Like, LeBron has the championships. Curry is in that conversation, but you know, but the thing that knocks them is that Durant thing. See, when you join forces and take away the competition, it hurts your legacy, and that hurts their legacy, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I would put Curry over LeBron if he would have beat him in those finals that year, and if he didn't have to get Kevin Durant to come help them win those other two titles. You know what I'm saying? Like, aside of that, you could have an argument for Curry, but you know what I'm saying? Like, then he went and got it on his own, which kind of elevated his level even more, because now he went and got another one without all that help. We waiting for Durant. If Durant can win one and carry a team and win it, we're gonna elevate him over Curry. Right now, I think people got Curry over Durant, even though we know Durant is the better player. Well, in the all-time discussion, Curry has the hardware. He has the jewelry. Curry's, you know what I'm saying, and he's the better shooter. But Durant to me is the better player. But he doesn't have the accolades like Charles Barkley. He's better to me, he's better than Scottie Pippen. But we're gonna hold Pippen in a higher regards as a champion. You know what I'm saying? So that shit matters, man. But anyway, man, I just wanted to make that video, man. I love talking sports, man. We're going to get into football maybe a little bit later, man. Anyway, Many Face Publishing, man. I'm out, man. I'm sorry for the visuals. You know, I was just trying to clean up a little bit and drink my coffee and get my day started here. You know, but yeah, man. Levels to this, man. Superior levels to this, man. And I would advise people to go look at the eye test, man. Go watch these games. Go watch some of these old classic games. Watch highlights. and you know, make a fair comparison, man. Don't be biased, man. I'm out, man. Many face, man. Peace.